99.9. This is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. Like I said, the Presidential Press Secretary Isaac Soto Kebe is here as my guest on the Super Morning Show this morning up to 9 o'clock. He's already in studio. Mr. Kebe, good morning. How are you?
Well, good morning. Good morning. I think I'm good.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's a very long time, but I mean, we have been engaged in other things. We'll be having a lot of guests.
Yeah.
Likewise, I've been having other engagement on other platforms, but it's always good to be back at the nation's number one, the state radio.
Yeah. Do you see this time, I mean, the election time, when you compare the election time now with your normal working time, which one is the busiest? Is it this time or the normal time that you are around the president doing other engagements?
Well, the president has no time off. He works.
I'm talking about your office.
I work when the president works.
Okay.
My office.
So you work every day.
You cannot divorce my office from that of the president.
Yeah.
The office is there because you have a president, and the president is somebody who works around the clock, and so most of the time we are called to action. And I think every day is another day.
Yeah, but election time I think is more busy because to get you nowadays is difficult.
It's relative.
I mean, I call you over 20 times and you pick up one time.
At least I pick up. The most important thing is that my line is still open and we are still in conversation. We are still talking. But all in all, it's good to be here this morning.
Great. How's the office of the president?
Well, the office of the president and the president in general, the president is good. So once he's good, the office is great. He's okay. He's in good health, and he's going about doing the things he subscribed to do, for which the people elected him. And this is why it's a must, that he's re-elected to complete what he started and to do the things he didn't do because of other factors.
Okay, so how impressed is the presidency? Presidency encompasses all of you associated with the executive mansion. How impressed are you with the electoral process thus far?
Well, so far so good. The president is one of those that is committed, 100% committed to ensuring that the tenets of democracies are abided by.
Okay.
And this is why he tried to do, when I say try, I mean his government tried to do the best they can by all means possible. And they have done extremely well by financing the elections as a government, which is the first time since, since man was a boy. And not just funding the elections, but creating an atmosphere where even the international community and other local observers have deemed our elections more credible. And they are asking other countries to copy the good example of this president in Liberia in terms of having free, fair, and credible elections. So once you have those factors into place, once you have your people exercising the right without being intimidated, without molestation, I think you should be proud as a sitting president that at least you have made a mark.
Yeah. And I mean, talking about the funding of the election, the electoral process, solely to some extent, large extent, by the government itself, it was anticipated, right?
Well, whether or not it is the responsibility of the government or not, that has not been happening.
Yeah.
We have always been supported by our international partners, like the USAID, like the European Union, like ECOWAS, you need them. But this time around, it was a different ballgame. And this time around, you are conducting an elections where you do not have one international or our neighboring soldiers manning a post, escorting our ballot boxes, providing security for our people to go vote. But you, as a sitting government, you understand, you executed your responsibility. You live up to your responsibility. I think you need, if you cannot get pat on your back from other places, you can do that to yourself.
Yeah.
That's what lazy does. You see, when a lazy falls down, it looks everybody looking and shake it because nobody there to applaud. You say, yes, I've done this really well. And this time around, the president is not only not enough doing well, but other people have realized that yes, he's the only president of late in our sub-region, even Africa as a whole, to have had this kind of a success story when it comes to having a free, fair, and credible elections.
Okay, we'll talk more about the president's campaign activities, but let's backtrack a little bit about the administration itself, 2018 up to now, and putting the spotlight on the president's development agenda, uh, styled the Propo agenda for prosperity and development, the PAPD. We've talked a lot more about the PAPD as a development idea that seeks the vision of the presidency. When you look at 2018 up to now, what can you say about how far we've come with the development initiative of the government?
Well, firstly, the PAPD you are talking about, it is the manifesto of this government.
Mhm.
It was based on that that the president was elected, because this is what he put before the people on his manifesto, and that was completed into his plan of action since 2018 to be implemented. So if you look at what is it, it's not a plan that is from top to bottom,
Mhm.
but the PAD, the concept is from bottom
To
to top.
top.
It means it's very inclusive. It was formed based on consultation with the ordinary people, the people in the
So it was
middle.
not something just done by the government or officials of the government. It was
Before-
more
before-
consultative.
Yes, that's what you have party, and those party they have consultations even
Mm.
before leading the primary, and they draw up plans based on what the needs of the constituents are, based what the needs of the people are. And you will not know the needs of the people except you went for consultation, except you live with them, except you hold meeting with them, and they will tell you. And then you look at what your own visions are.
Mm.
So you blend both of them together, and then you have what you call the PAPD. That's the birth of the PAPD. Your own dream, your party dream, and those that you are leading,
Yeah.
those that make up the country or the constituent, which
The
are all
ordinary
the
citizens.
ordinary citizens. So based on that, you have the manifesto. If you look at them, what was lacking in the past? We have people struggling to go to school. We have people not having job. You have people needing basic health services, and this is why the PAP has been addressing over the years. And I don't want to go deep into it, but in summary,
Mm.
if you look at the rating of this government, not from Liberians only,
Mhm.
but for the international community, every year is a progress made. Every year is a progress made. Every year you have aspect of the PAPD being implemented in the sense that touching the lives of ordinary people, transforming the developmental trajectory of your country.
So what are the various aspects that have made progress up to now?
Well, if you have,
Mm.
like before 2018, if you have only 10 kilometers of paved road across our country, you have hundreds of paved road now. That's another thing. If you if you had just one health facility, now you have additional 3 to 4 health facilities being built by this government. That's touching the lives of the people. If you have people like look at our University of Liberia, which of course is the popular one university.
Mm.
If you look at how many students graduated every graduation year, it's almost 2-3 times what are happening. You look at the enrollment, so it tells you that this government is touching the lives of the people. Because if you have an informed society, it is bound to succeed. If you have a literate society, you will not have the bunch of how you call it, 100,000 plus invaluables you have. So educating our youth, I mean, making education affordable for our people
Mm.
is another way of touching the lives of our people and improving, bringing some development to our countries. So we're not just looking at infrastructure development, we're looking at the human capacity aspect. And this is everything this government has been doing from day one.
Okay, this is to say the PAPD has something called the roads. You talk about roads, you talk about healthcare, you talk about education and governance and all that, and bringing the people closer to leadership, participatory governance system. Let's talk more about roads. I mean, 2018 to now, you talk about more kilometers of road being constructed under the government. Is it the overall leading achievement under the PAPD?
But everything is,
Which one tops?
everything is important. Everything is important. If you build roads and you do not have an informed society, what happens? If you build roads and you do not have hospital for people to go to,
So they've been going hand in hand.
so they are complementing each other, and that's what the PAPD talks about. So yes, roads, people say, is the flagship development program of the president because our people are suffering. And if you will make me to just backtrack a little bit, when we went for the campaign era, where the president have to sleep in the middle of the road because the road conditions were bad. He could not drive the whole daytime. He had to spend nights on the road. We left from, I take for example, we left from Green Crew, from Sasstown to go to Greenville. We left by 11:48 a.m. to go to Greenville. The president got to Greenville almost like at 12 o'clock the next day, passing through government camp.
So what is the importance of that experience?
So it tells you that yes, sometimes people go for consultation, sometimes people hold town hall meetings, sometimes people hold rally, people come to you. But when you go to them, you know their plight. And this is why the president said on October 25th, when he addressed the nation, that those roles he applied on will never be the same the next 6 years when he's in power. And every time the president says something, I mean, it's his heart, it's his word, that's his bound. He will execute it. And it's not just that he said it because he wanted a road. He had the plan already. This is why he was able to secure funding for the coastal highway. When you talk about the coastal highway, you talk about from Buchanan City through River Cess, Greenville, and then Bagleyville. Of course, you have the road from Tapata to Zwedru to Roji. All of them will be connected. Harper already is connected by way of Fishtown to Harper is already connected. So if you connect Zwedru to Fishtown, of course, that corridor is done. So I mean, the president had already secured funding and he went on the road. So there's no leader in our country history. There is no leader in our country history that has slept on the road trying to reach your people, knowing what your people are going through. No leader. From Greenville to River Cess, the president did not reach River Cess until 3 a.m. in the morning to reach Yapata, not even Sestos. So if you can go through, you have everything. You could use a chopper to go, but he didn't. So going through what your people go through, there is no way that you will not be there for them or you will not do the necessary. You have never had an insight what they're doing, you are doing the needful. What more going through the pains they go through? It make it easier for you to do those things. I mean, make it monetary, constrain being a humanitarian, being somebody who is.
But the president has been there before. I mean, they counted tour. That was an experience all by itself.
Yeah, but at the time you had a county tour, the conditions of the roads were not the same. The conditions of the road were not the same. The county tour, the roads were a bit dry. But the roads were completely what you had your reporters that were there. I rode bite with some of your reporters from where you call government camp. From government camp, which is Bokonjiri area in Greenville. I don't know whether you know those places, but at least I heard some of the names. From Sino, Bokonjiri, you come to Greenville, who rode bite. From Greenville, who rode bite to Buchanan before we get on car. Why? Because the cars were being damaged by the road every day in and every day out. So we had the experience our people went through. And this is why our people are convinced that if this president can go through all these things, he's going to answer our questions, he's going to meet our needs. Because some of the places he had not gone to, he's reaching out to them. So what more of himself going through these difficult roads, these difficult terrains, risking his own lives and security.
So some of these roads have been done by the government, but it seems there are more needs to be done, especially
But
the southeast roads.
most of the corridors we are talking about, the president would have been selfish to say, let me start from Grand Crew, but he didn't do it. And these are some of the reasons that our roads probably, I may be wrong, our roads have issues. When the Ganta Harper Highway project was being launched, President Weah was not into politics. President Weah, I won't say, or any of us here, whether we were born at the time or not, because the Ganta Harper was started during the era of President William V.S. Tottenham. That was 1944. Not all in here was born. Not even the president was born at the time. But instead of starting the road, as the name say, Ganta Harper, it started from where? From Harper City. They were not fatigued. They were not prepared. Because to take materials from Monrovia and carry all the way to Harper, you spend 3 times the cost of the project. Another administration came. The priorities were bent out instead of the Ganta Harper Highway. They were not fatigued. Other government came. This president came to power and said, no, although I'm not getting money for the Ganta Harper Way from those that initially launched it, I'm working on what we have, our road fund. I'm working with some of our partners from the region to be able to be successful to get a corridor connected. Let me start from where we have easy access to taking materials. So this president started from where? From Nima. Even to do the roads to Lofa, he didn't jump to Vojima. He started from Bon County to go through Salaye, Zozo, and then Vojima. When we start the Western Corridor, the Coastal Highway, we're not going to start from Bagleyville. We're not going to start from County Greenville. We are going to start from where? From Buchanan. So like that, you have easy means of transporting material, and the work will go smoothly. And then, I mean, that's what people do.
So I mean, you know,
So,
you talk
so
about
the roads we are talking about that have these challenges are roads in the southeast and the Lofa Road, mostly from Vojima. To get the Vojima from Menokoma to get the Vojima, not for Menokoma, but from Zozo.
Yeah,
to get the Vojima.
because the road from Banga to Zozo is okay. Salaye area is okay.
It's okay. So it didn't get okay by itself.
Okay, but
it was done by this president.
Okay,
so not people from Lofa in government all those years.
No, we'll come to the politics of it.
It's
now,
of
all the roads,
we are talking reality.
Yeah, of all the roads, you know, that the government has done, the president has experienced some of the bad roads around the country. What has been his commitment?
Like I said earlier, he said those roads would never be the same come his next term. So it means after his inauguration in January, I'm sure he's going to win. The priority will be those roads. All the roads we went on, that of the Zaza Vojima and that of the southeastern roads.
Priority, instant priority, or what?
They are priorities. Priority number 1, the roads to the areas. Our people cannot continue to travel that kind of roads. I want to go to my village every weekend, come back like other people do. If the roads from here to Nima were bad as the ones in Southeast, people will not go there because they will not take 4 hours to go there. You will not take 3 hours to go there. They will take a whole day. It will not go like for fun. People leave and go have lunch in Sunny Queen and come back. Why I can't do that to go to the Mopo and come back? What I can go to Bayan and come back? What I can go to Dwason? What I can go to Fubat? What I can go to Bokonjire?
Okay.
What I can go to Panama? I need to do the same.
Okay, good that we know the public and you know commitment from the president following that experience. That was just road under the PAPD because we try to touch the main aspects of the PAPD. Let's come to education. What has been as free tuition at public universities and colleges, and the payment of WASS and WAEC fees by the president and the government is mostly heralded. What other aspect of the education sector that we've seen improvements and achievements?
Well, basically, I don't want to dwell on achievement because they are glaring when it comes to the sectors we are talking about, education, health. We see major changes.
Mm.
I was talking about initially, I talked about what you call the high enrollment across the country in all of our public and tertiary institutions.
This is attributed to what?
It's because of what this president has done, taking the burden of the parents. Some people who became parents before time, they can now send their children to school. What the president is looking at now, in addition to a lot of things people don't talk about, and sometimes I listen to Blatant, he try to talk all of the time. He's talking about that, and you need to re-echo it. Is the number of institutions being built? He's not just giving people free wise fee or free tuition to go to school, but more institutions are being built. Uh, Before the end of the president next tenure, every administrative district will have a high
Your
school.
critics say those institutions are being built, you know, but you don't have the required teachers, instructional staff, and equipment and all that.
You cannot have teachers when you don't have the building. First of all, you need a building. The building brings students, need teacher. So that's it simple. I'm not going to answer them. But if you listen to the president, the first thing he said, apart from teachers that are brought into the country, we have teachers that are voluntary. We have health workers that are volunteers. The president said, and I quote, as of January 2024, we will no longer have voluntary teachers or voluntary health workers or volunteer in those technical sessions, those most important areas. So it tells you that the president is aware of all these things are happening and they are being addressed. Do you know what it means? Do you know how many teachers? 1,000+ teachers are volunteers. They don't get paid. But as of January, they only get subsidy, okay, or allowance. But as of January 2024, they are going to be placed on government payroll. Even the chiefs and elders, some of them are being there. They are now on payroll. As of January 2024, all of those people will be placed on government salary. While other people are thinking about taking people from government salary on government payroll, making them jobless, thinking about making them jobless. You don't even have a job or you want to make someone jobless. The president thinking about bringing them on board to make sure that they can feed for their family. And besides that, the president is saying that as of January 2024, when he takes over, you will make sure that the national legislature work along with him for them to legislate that all primary schools, that means from kindergarten to sixth grade, be free in all public schools. Right now it's free, but it's still paying what you call activities fee, this fee. He wanted to be zero cent pay.
So what will be
0 cent pay? All you have to do, get a uniform of your child, and the child go to school. You're not going to school to register. Register means you're not going to pay money, but you have to give your basic information. You have to be profiled. That what will be happening. And I think that's a way forward. The president is looking at avenue where jobs will be created, where the waterway project have sometimes brought protests and other things would be, would be well drilled instead of this is why he's saying as of the next tenure, that program will be placed under the maritime so it will have more strategic funding. It will be, sustainable, and you will not have people going here and there. So the president is thinking about making everything better. Like I said, Minister Twe talked a lot. Minister Rennie talked about yesterday the scorecard. But look at the scorecard. If people accuse government of being corrupt, but the government passed the corruption scorecard. You talk about freedom of expression. The government passed when other countries around us are failing flat. The same country compare you with, when a country fail, they say no, yeah, you can't compare with that. Some people won't compare Liberia when it comes to NCC or America. When America is not even part of the MCC, they didn't use that. Know what they're talking until they want to make unnecessary comparison. See, so what I'm saying here, this president is always thinking different in the sense that the people of Liberia comes first. Yesterday, you saw what the president did. Which one the president will leave his comfort? Yes, you won't vote, but you always want to have rally, put people together. But this president didn't. What he did yesterday, he walked into the community. Some areas he went door to door, sat down with occupants and tell them exactly. It's not just about me voting. but encouraging them to vote for themselves, to choose the president of their choice. Yes, you want them to choose development because you represent development. If they talk about experience when it comes to the presidency, he's the only president I experience. No other president have been president, no former president contesting. So the experience is not there.
But you have a vice president in the runoff. Vice president. I mean, the key word is president. The man is vice.
Yeah, vice.
He still has experience, and sometimes you hear people say he's the most experienced.
More experience. Yes, I mean I will agree with them that he's more experienced in terms of the only person in the race that have been dismissed all of the time. He has experience for being dismissed from FPNC. He has the experience for being dismissed from FPRC. Everywhere you work, he was dismissed. That's the experience.
They say that's not true.
That's not true. The records are there. They didn't say they're not true. They were arguing that you were not being dismissed for corruption, but you were being dismissed. So if you were not for corruption, but you're not being functional, I mean, you are not up to the task. Now let's come back to former vice president. Yeah, he's former president, but you say you are park, car park, you're not doing anything. So what experience do you have for the presidency, even if you move the former? The only person in this race that has experience, that know what it takes to be a president, that know the functionaries of a president, is Dr. Josh Manuel, because he has been there for the past 5 years and a half, going to 6 years now. Is there any debate? Is there any argument? There's no argument about that. Let them show me the two of them who have served as president before.
But one has been to the presidency, maybe vice, but it's the same presidency.
Why are you forcing vice presidency on the man? The man say you are not vice president, you're car park. So if the guy is the vice president, when all the exhausts, everything are dropping off, where do you see him go? Why are you forcing that man?
No, I'm not forcing it, But I mean, these are things that
I'm talking about followers.
Now, let's stick with the MCC scorecard for a moment, because I have here the scorecard now. The government passed 14 out of 20. The minimum for you to pass as a country is 10. So you have 4 excess. And just to name them for our listeners: fiscal policy, inflation, trade policy, gender in the economy, land rights and access to credit, employment opportunity, political rights, civil liberties, control of corruption, rule of law, freedom of information, health expenditures, immunization rates. Then the government field in regulatory quality, government effectiveness, education expenditures, natural resource protection, child health, girls primary education completion. But 14 out of 20, how can you describe it?
I think the president wants to pass all 20. And before the end of his next 6 years, he will pass all 20. Nobody should doubt it, because the first time we have issues with fear. And he had series of meetings with those responsible, with the key actors, the Minister of Finance and other section of the government. He had series of meetings. And he said we need to do better. Now we are doing more than better. So we can do more than better. You said, if you have a president that is very complacent, you say, okay, no problem, 14 is okay, but he's not satisfied with 14. He wants us to do more.
He said he's not satisfied.
He's not satisfied. He's happy that we passed, but he's not satisfied. He's not content. He's not complacent that we should stop there. He wants to pass all 20 out of 20 because it's doable. Those things are doable.
But 14 is pundits say is the highest. People who have been around say is the highest since 1847 or whatsoever. So you should be satisfied. You should be complacent.
No, I'm not saying this because I want to get through him as some Arsenal fans. I remember a few years back when you had Jose Mourinho, the second return to Chelsea, and Arsene Wenger was still at Arsenal as the coach. So the journalist went to interview Mourinho. And Mourinho said, Chelsea is a young horse. They are not ready to race, but next season they will race. And the following season, Chelsea won the Premier League. The journalists, before the next season now, after the first interview with Mourinho, the journalist went to Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger said, well, he's into the competition win. You understand? He's not like other people who are afraid to fail this and that. And the journalist went back to Mourinho. Mourinho said he's not a specialist in failure. And there was an issue in the sporting career that Mourinho was, throwing jabs at
Arsene
Wenger. So people who are used to failing, they will be content with 14 out of 20. Not somebody who is a record breaker, not somebody who is always aiming at the top will be complacent or will be happy because he has scored 14. He wants to be at the top. Because one of the reasons probably he's happy is that this report is not vindicating his government, but it's proving critics wrong. It's proving people who want to come to power that are feeding lies. It tells the public that these people lie about everything and wish their country bad image. Because what I'm saying is, if you are lying to the people about everything, if you come to government, what you're going to do, you are going to do money lies. If you are coming into government or you say you're a Liberian and all you wish for is for your country to fail, is to portray a bad image to the outside world of your country, then you do not mean well. Look at the man who they call Amara Kone, who was finance minister for ages. Has he ever scored anything at 10?
Why are you calling names?
Yeah, because he wants to mislead our people. When the report came out, you know better, but he said Liberia failed. What is that? I should not call his name. I mean, these are the people who have in our society that are coming to government.
He didn't say Liberia failed. He said we failed in some of the real issues.
Probably that what he said. What are the real issues? Is democracy not a real issue? Freedom of expression, freedom of movement, fighting corruption are not real issues. Every time he posts when you are out of the country where you say Liberia is corrupt, the same people you telling Liberia, the same people telling that Liberia is doing well. Look at the instruments that have been passed under this president that he recommended, empowering the anti-corruption commission to fight more, giving them more power,
control of corruption, political rights, civil liberties, and all that.
These people that during the tenure when they were in government, how many times since 2004, when the MCC scorecard was being introduced, when under the bipartisanship from the U.S. government, when they launched this program, 2005 all the way to now to 2018, how many of us really used to hear about MCC until the last 2 years? They were not giving report because these were flung completely. 5 said they couldn't get to it. They were just closing down media houses. They were there imprisoning journalists. Some journalists said they were closing them off with some inducement. Some of those who couldn't stand it were being induced. Is that what we call freedom of expression? Is that what we call passing scorecard? So what do the people really mean? Do they want Liberia to stay be like Liberia as it was? They didn't want it to be participatory. The president backers for chiefs, they vest. Only they alone should rock car. Is that thing for people to listen to? Only they alone should go to school. They don't support the government school. All the children in private school, they're prioritizing. This president can say the same thing are happening. Empower our teacher. Let our school have laboratories.
So what's the baseline to this pass? Is it the effective implementation of the PPD or going extra mile, doing something?
Well, I don't really want to dilute, because what Samuel Eto'o did yesterday, I don't want to do it. It did extremely well. But what I'm saying, the president of Liberia is happy that Liberia got 14, but he's not complacent. He's not content. He wants Liberia to score more and more points.
So what's the target next time?
Hopefully, we're looking at 18 out of 20. We cannot get a whole 20.
18. So you want to add four more to the 14?
How many were added last time around? We can add more. Those things are doable. The only person right now in the race that had a political will to do that is Dr. Josh Manowiya. Not somebody who don't make decisions for himself. Not somebody who don't even know what is happening next. Not somebody who is being fed on lie by a daily basis. That's somebody who has betrayed everybody that tried to help him. But we talk about somebody that is there for the people. Somebody who can work with his people. The president walked hours yesterday from Kafi, from that Dubai Road massacre monument stuff. Walk through Sharia, walk to the market. And this is somebody who is religiously tolerant. Yesterday, do you know what happened? The president walked to the Dubai Road market. Not the structure that was built, but on the other side of the road. You will not know it's a market you have to walk through. And he went there to sit with the market people. The place was so noisy. He called the organizer and said, look, I beg you, I will find time to come to you before the elections. But these people, next week there was a church. He said, if I stay here, we'll disturb the people from worshiping God. So I beg your pardon. And people said, okay, we understand. And now the president left. Desperate people want to come to power, will they do that? Or they know they want people around them. That's the kind of leader we're talking about.
Okay, if you just joined us, you're listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio this morning. My guest is the Presidential Press Secretary, Isaac Soto Kilbe. We're talking a wide range of presidential issues, government issues as well. Let's come to the elections, the campaign. You were one of those who propagated one-round victory before October 10. It was almost like a song. I mean, even the other side, one-round victory. I don't know what you politicians or political parties were thinking about that currently in our current political dispensation in our electoral process, we don't have an electoral college that can just call a shot, one-round victory. But it turns out to be for the TD point some percent and for the TD point some percent. Was the president satisfied with even though he led the first round, but the margin is very tiny? Was he impressed?
Well, the president was not just concerned about winning the elections. The president is happy that as a sitting president of the Republic of Liberia, he gave the opportunity to people to execute and demonstrate their constitutional franchise. So whether you want or not, the first thing is to give the people the opportunity. He gave them the opportunity. And giving them the opportunity, he is not coercing them. He is not forcing them. He gave them the opportunity to freely exercise it. Things that were not done in previous government. There's nobody who goes to campaign and tell people that what you did yesterday. Yes, go vote, whether you vote for me or not. But I know I'm the right person. So, giving people that opportunity, empowering all of the institutions to make sure that people vote, that's the winner already. That's the winner. That's what matters most in a democratic society. So, yes, the president predicted you would have won first round. He didn't win. But he won in a sense that he gives Liberians the opportunity to exercise their constitutional rights. Things that other people did not give them. In past elections, there are some places that people didn't even go to vote. Now, one of the issues probably, I may be wrong. I'm not saying it from the president's perspective, but I'm saying it from my own human observation. I'm a human. I can read between lines. Of
course.
I can think, right? I can read between lines. Probably some of the contributing factors would be maybe the lack of voter education in a lot of areas.
Owing to the fact that you have the huge
100,000 plus
invalid
votes. That could be a contributing factors. It could also be that people didn't even know the candidates they were to vote for because they feel so crowded. And
so what opportunity does this round provide?
You have just two candidates.
It means that in your view, the president stands a chance.
You have just two candidates. Yeah, somebody win number 18. Some people who don't even have vision. You know, some people go ask them vote in the going election.
Who you want to talk?
No, I just saying. Some people, I mean, they got accident vote.
You're talking about number one?
I don't know what number one, but I just see some, you see, there were some people, look, there were so many things, you understand? But I think this time around, there are two candidates. Number two, that's the only ticket that is gender sensitive. That's the only balanced ticket. That's the only ticket that stands for development. But you have more and more civil engagement. People.
You mean through the president's engagement?
Yes, it's going out
to doing voter education.
Voter education. Not only the
was that the case yesterday?
That was one of the clear examples. Do you know? I may be wrong. I think one of the president engaged 101. For his posture, I guess he wasn't a citizen. I may be wrong.
What do you mean?
Because if you see him staring at the president, this man really came to me to sit with me as president in from my lace shop, sitting with me, telling me the importance of voting, telling me XYZ. That's alone is a mind change. Okay. So what I'm saying in essence, I don't think, I doubt it, that we will have as many invalid votes like we do. Some of the reasons why we call this invalid vote, sometimes people who use the ink is too much.
So they will spill over,
or probably while trying to fold the ballot, the ink also touch another person, and it become an invalid vote.
But sometimes you're angry with this person, you want to bust their ass.
So, but I think a lot is being done.
But what is the campaign, the central campaign message of the president?
From his side, it's not just telling him what he has done, telling him to know what it stands to benefit when he's re-elected. Not them as individual, but collectively as a country. What will stand to benefit? How much will be held in high esteem by the international community if he's re-elected? Not putting people into power who our direct international partners like the USA don't even want to hear about. Because by default, and from what their campaign message is, President Johnson will be the next vice president by default.
Who's saying that?
That's what President Johnson said. The Omen is old. If the Omen win, that me, he didn't say Jamaica, he called himself for that me and Jamaica will be doing the work. So what does
he said that?
Severally. What does that is the situation. I know you want to play the devil advocate, but you're listening to time in and time out.
I don't know.
You don't know, but I will let you know. Okay? Somebody who just a committee.
Why if Senator Johnson called me and dispelled that, you know?
Who?
Why if Senator Johnson calls me and dispel what you're saying?
Would it be a strange thing? A man who killed people on court weapons and telling an innocent person like Joshua to be a killer? What do you expect? Somebody who's going around Nima threatening people that this is Nima, you're not looking at like, bro, we say this is Nima. Nima has been kingmaker. It's time for Nima to
These are all political rhetoric.
Rhetoric.
These are rhetoric that you expect in electioneering period.
Electioneering is not about propaganda. Electioneering is about telling the people what you will do for them. And you should mean what you do for them. Not being divisive. Not having General Board Digger on your team and accusing innocent people of being the one who are after people. This president looked at somebody who can go after people. Then why are you giving you all the freedom? Why is he giving you all the freedom? So Prince Johnson cannot call to say he didn't say it. He can. And he will not use that call because I'm still. He won't call. Because I'll tell you exactly what he meant for this country. Disaster. That's what he stands for. So the president is telling the people, look, I'm going to create more jobs. I'm going to put all the teachers on the volunteer teachers on payroll. I'm going to build our roads. And you cannot doubt that you build roads because he's already building roads. But somebody who has not done road before, you say, I'll do your road. How possible is that? You have not built a house before.
So you see this as a contest between the have and the have not.
I don't use that if there is not, or have you got a have not. I'm telling you, the only person who can develop Liberia, the only person that can make the international community continue to work with Liberia is President Dr. George Manawiya, not the other way around. It's glaring. And I'm happy our people are realizing. See, the plethora of endorsements are coming over from all fabric of our society. Everywhere. See what's happening in Magiri. The people themselves have come to realize that they were taking gamble during the first round. And they have now realized that the best ticket is that the Judge Manawiya and that Joel Howard Taylor. These are the people who.
So what has changed their mind so quickly? I mean, it's just October 10th to now.
They are being
less than 3
They are
weeks.
being talked to. Some people were never reached. Okay, some people were never reached. Some of the candidates on the CDC ticket, they were mostly focused on themselves being re-elected. Now that they are elected, the only way out is to support the president. Even those who were not on CDC ticket that lost the election, that are one election, they believe the best ticket is that of George Manawiya. So other than a canvas, and they are talking to the people. There are people who did not even vote. Some people, what they did, some of the ballot for the airplane. They gave them the ballot. They just go for senator, mark senator, food and put it back. Some go for representative and president. The other ballot food and put it back. So what I'm saying, in essence, if you do not reach out to the president feels less important. Right? You saw what happened? Instead of what you call them United Party people going to the southeast to campaign, they say that Georgia people did not go in there. So I was telling somebody from the southeast, I think on one of the radio stations about 3 days ago. I said the time the men need you most is not coming to you. When he come to you when he doesn't need you, it's a reason no. You want a man vote, you're not going to him. The time you need a vote, that time you go do a road, that time you go pay a hospital, that time you send teacher to him, that's the time they will call you more names.
Let's take course. If you just join us again, you're listening to the Super Morning Show right here on ELBC Radio. Presidential Press Secretary Isaac Soro-Keba is here as my guest. My name is Vafle Kamara. You can call us on 080-514-096, 080-514-096. This program is also relayed on LNTV Liberia Live Facebook page. Let's hear from this person first. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello?
Hello, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Rosal from Nale. And good morning to your student, Mr. Solo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me appreciate the student guys the money for the person friend. We are not going to force people who are in power for 12, but not going to add other years to in comment. That the role of we have today, that we all ensure that the freedom for person couldn't ask people where to make it go. And he said he used the word scramble opportunity. And why we said the Bible elected senator is now news that he does in the Unity Party and criticizing the current regime. Previous regime, let me look at the school card. When he American well Minister of Finance, they create school under the Unity Party like government that you want to continue persevere. You know, all these things they are shame. Because things that you said, this president couldn't do. How you dedicated him as nobody. And we stood by him and we said he's somebody. And the couple of saying he has done all the 5 years, plus 2 years plus from COVID-19, not needing the blame on COVID.
Okay.
So we have been there. COVID going to take the blame.
Okay, thank you. 1 minute, please. Let's hear from another person, please. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, Father.
Yeah, morning. What's the name?
Well, Father, this is still one thing for the rehab bill.
Yeah, go ahead.
Father, to be told you, when I saw the school minister, I'm not going to pull yesterday, last time I saw the checkpoint on the indicator. Only regime a minister. The highest he ever passed, the highest he ever passed was 10. So, what the indicator that he named, he also still indicator as minister. So, I was thinking about why the man coming forward. He's never passed, he's not winning level. The highest was 10 as minister of finance. So why are you criticizing this? The government did work. But we are waiting for Tuesday to re-elect us we are.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning. Morning. Chorus. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, Dominic Water, phoning from Clarota.
Yeah,
I said Dominic Water, phoning from Clarota.
go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the platform. That's what we have been saying. You know, this election, they are very crucial to our, power match. So we want everybody to observe peace because peace is a fundamental. So if we don't observe peace and we tell come up to that election, at the end of the day, the world will laugh at us. Now look at the scorecard for Liberia. Liberia scored 14, out of 20. So that means Liberia making progress. So we ought to follow the footsteps of our leader, Lord President. We are is a progenitor of all of these things. So we should follow is the man of peace and development. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Manuel Sango calling from Kakata Bani community, Majibi County.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I just want to ask that studio guys, if you say the president have done well, why now he dish out money to be re-elected? And
Where did he dish out money?
Your money we elected him. Then why now he coming out money?
Who gave you money? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, where you got money from?
Where he got money from?
You got money?
As I'm speaking right now, every day the people working from community to community, giving 100,000, 50,000, 80,000, I'm telling you. And now we eat that money, we'll not vote them.
All right.
How much you got?
The president.
Okay, how much you got? How much you got?
As I'm speaking yesterday, they came in my community, they gave 40,000.
How much you got?
My community, they gave 50,000.
Okay, let's review. It's not just about saying we got this. Anyway, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Fanfare Camera.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your name?
Let me say good morning to
Hello. Go ahead.
This morning. Look, we are not going to waste time. The first time saying that Brown scored the type of grade. They said you must score 20 and you make 40. It's a great. I know. The 5%.
Let's hear from the caller. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Yeah, my name is Kendra. I joined from Pisa and Congo Town.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yes, I want to ask the studio guest. Yes, the studio guest said that all government officials, all government teachers who are teaching government school, they will be their pay will go on government salary in 2024. My question to you is this: why is this the government going to power in 2018? Then the Georgia government does not put those government or those teachers on government salary, and now coming say to the Liberian people that 2014 or government teacher will put their pay on salary.
Okay.
That's my question to him.
Okay, thank you. We will stop there and go back to Mr. Kebe. I mean, pretty much commendations, but two major concerns. The one from Kakata, the guy saying that they've been given money by the government to vote President. We are another. This recent concern, why these volunteer teachers were not placed on government payroll until 2024.
Let me start from Bani community.
Mm-hmm.
I think we asked him 2 different times if he got some of the money. He said that when your community, but you eat the money, but you cannot tell you that you got some of the money. These are the people who try to mislead our people. How can he say that if the president thinks he's doing well, when you are seeing everything the president done is visible? So, is there people passing around in the community dividing money? I think he should be able to get some of the money and tell you, I got $10 from this person, from that person, but you think there's people passing around. If President we have money, you use that money for the development of the country, not about votes. If you have money, this election would have gone to a round of You would have used the money to buy the vote, then why you want to buy it now? So these are the people who are just seated there on the fence trying to end the person in the mind of other people. People who are seeing the goodness and the good work of President Weah. Now, our brother on the Peace Island, I'm happy at least he can call, because then in Peace Island, their network was so bad. It was this president who makes sure that they can call regularly now. They used to walk in a mud when it rained. This president paved that road for them. They never had electricity. Now the president has given you electricity, they can charge their phone to call. But just to answer his question, when the previous government took people off the payroll, when they came to power, what they did is say the right side and dark sides. This president took in over 2,000 health workers that they took from the payroll. And to come to the teaching aspect, every year teachers are placed on payroll. It was done in phases because we have all the developmental things to take care of. Now he said we have substantial number that are on payroll. We don't say all the teachers are on payroll. We say volunteer teachers that are volunteer. So it's not because he wants to be re-elected. No. This is thing he has been doing, it was being done in phases. So, my brother, this is the first group of people here. They have volunteer nurses that were paid on payroll. They had nurses that he took from payroll that the president put there. There was teachers that were taken from off the payroll. They called them ghosts. After they were verified, they put them back on payroll. And I think probably maybe your next presentation, invite the civil service. They will give you statistics from school to school, from district to district, how these people were placed on payroll. So it's not for electioneering. It's what the president has been doing, and you'll continue to do it.
Okay, we already running out of time, Mr. Kebe. You can just give your final comments, your parting comments, then we'll leave you.
Well, like the president I've always said, and I just want to use the medium to encourage our people, have a say in who become the president. Go to the pool peacefully, early in the morning, come November 14, vote for the president of the Republic of Liberia. He's the only person in the race that can develop our country. He's the only person that the international community wish to work with. There's no other person, because all the other people, if you look at the tickets, those are people who didn't mean well for our country. These are people who made the international community spend all their hard-earned money and human sacrifices were made. People died, they killed, they brought war, they have been rebellious through all their days. And so just go to the pool peacefully, vote at the George Manneh Weah and Madam Joy Howard Taylor. That's a second ticket, number 2 on the ticket. And that's a ticket that means well. So I'm encouraging our people, wake up early in the morning, go and vote peacefully, vote for the better of Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, he's Presidential Press Secretary Isaac Soto Kebe, the official spokesperson of the president, the office of the president. He's been my guest. 9 o'clock, 9 to 9:30. I will host folks for Orange, Liberia, 9:30 to 10. The Sachet Affair of the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia. Madam Catherine Rodriguez will be here as my guest.